Thank you everybody for coming tonight. Hello Ali and Lee, thank you for joining me. Tonight we're still working on the island. Camera's up there because I need room so you can see what I'm doing. So you can see these bits that I'm preparing to shape and cut out and make into bits to go on it. But there's other things as well that we need to do if we're going to do first and second levels. Gotta see if we can get this onto the camera. So this is the top-down view. So we know I'm building this bit now, which is going to be here. So we've got two people that need to go on here. So I need to build out enough so that I can fit two bases into it. And then hopefully a little something in here, but I can still build up and have them as already cut into it and made something there. I might think about other stuff for doing that. But yeah, that's what my plan is for that. But I also need to level out the bottom floor, which is the rock section. Now, the outer walls can be done with things like broken up cork and made to look rocky that way. But I don't want to do the entire thing like that. So I'm going to build up blocks, essentially. And there's 5 people to go on there on the high sections. So what I need to do first is try and remember which is the lowest level high section that I actually need to build someone up. And for some reason I can't find a piece of paper with it on. And I don't understand why. Where has it disappeared to? Oh, crap. Good evening, Beaky. Good evening. Thank you for coming to join us. I'm trying to remember what I've done with a piece of paper that I thought was still attached to this. But it appears it's not. Or it no longer is, or it was, and it shouldn't. That sucks, because that was my level guide. Bugger. Right. If I was to take these off this, I'm going to have at least one at this height, which I've already built. Possibly 3 at the next height. And then 1 at the highest height. But by the looks of it, I'm making the rocks go higher than him. So that's going to be a 2, 4, 6, and then another inch worth of rock rubble around him, I think. Yeah, so that'll be a 2-inch level, a 6-inch level, and then his 2, 4, 6. No, 2-inch level, 4-inch level, and then his 6-inch level. Which will probably end up being the bat, I think. And then a lot of the other bird, and I think there's one familiar, which will probably end up going in that one. So what does that give me to work in? 1. So it's going to be 3-inch across from the back corner to here, so then I can fill out the rest with little rock bits from like cork and stuff. I do not have my tea, Ali. I do not have a cup of tea. I've just finished one though, so I'm not too bad. There's only going to be one person at the 2-inch level, and everything else looks like it's going to be building up to be higher, up to the 4-inch. So a 4-inch block looks like it's going to be the biggest. And that's going to be a 4x3. That's a big block. That's a big block. But because it's because it's the rocks and it's a big block, I've got some room so I can possibly put an extra layer of foam on so I can texture a bit more. Pardon me, especially for when it comes to doing the bases. So we'll build another one of these. It's the 2x1s to go there. Oh no, it needs to be one. It needs to be 3 inches by, so 2 inches tall, 3 inches long, 1 inch deep. Then I need a 1, 2, 3, a 3x3x4 to make up that block, and then I can do a then that corner becomes a problem. That corner becomes a problem. I can make a 1x1 and possibly try and do some, just put together some slanted bits so I can stick things to it. I'll work out that corner problem, but yeah, that's a 1x1 block. That should be easy enough. In fact, there you go. There's the 1x1 block already done for that top square. Excellent. So I've got a lot of blocks to make, and then while they dry, before I can glue them down, I can carry on gluing stuff to here. Then once they're dry, I can glue them onto this bit, which I hope is still going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully I'm still going to have 4 inches behind the back of this thing. Let's take it from the 10. Yep, still have 4 inches, which is what I should have. So my measurements are all working right. Ali, that would require me to break like habits of lifetimes to write stuff down. No, I'm just going to say, if I just do it tonight and get it glued down, then it's done. And then I don't have to write it down. That's my theory anyway. So, first of all, we need to make a 2x2x1. Then a 3x3x4. 3. Yeah, 3, but 4 deep. Yeah, sounds doable. Not while this is in the way, though. So I'm going to move this out of the way so I've got that to... Right. I did sort out a lot of my foam coat and all my armies have been put away, so no Eldar on my desk. I've only got a few Space Marine models, including the Lavarus, which I'll be looking into his base on Monday. I think his base in his back. It needs to be finished. Essentially, these are the rock things that I was thinking about gluing to the side. So they should work. And I've got plenty more to be making with. I'm looking for sheets that might be able to... I've got another box somewhere with all this stuff in, and I'm not sure where I've put it. That's not good. I mean, I can't make my own, technically. If I could find... No, because the card's in the same box. Or is it in a drawer? It might be in a drawer now, actually. Well, you say I know what I'm doing, Ali. I have a rough idea what I'm doing. I have an idea in my head. Technical skill, ability, resources aside, yeah, I've got a rough idea what I'm doing. I need metal rulers. I do have my small one this as well as my big one. I have both ready. As well as my 1, 2, 3 blocks. Wow. Let's see. And I have a pencil. So now I need to right. So if it's got to be 4 before. So it'll be 4 inches, 8 inches tall, 6 inches across, quartered. Should give me the big block. So have I got anything that can actually do that? Well, that can do the 8, and it can do the 6 across as well. But I've got to be really careful and go right into the corners. So using a 1, 2, 3 block, I'm going to make sure I get it flush. Yeah, it's 4 deep, 3 that way, 3 that way. And that's the second floor. So I should hopefully be where the now if I follow those 2 lines and make sure I am straight along them, I should be okay. So it heads in the way. Zero and mark the 4. So there's going to be 4. They're all going to be 4 inches high, but they're only going to be 3 inches across. Make sure to turn this fucking thing around helps. Because if it was a left-handed ruler, it would have been perfectly fine, but no, it's a right-handed ruler. So it's not. Yeah, it has to be quite over for me. Right. So from 6. Marking the 0 point. And the 3 point. So as long as I line that up across to that. I can mark that 0 point approximately. So I know if I go across to there, and it should be level. And this is where I could really fuck things up because now I'm going over old thingies. So You put it in the right place first. Right, sorry. Now, when I put this on here, fingers crossed, from there to there is 8 inches. And it should line up pretty dang straight with the 1, 2, 3 block, which it does. Oddly enough, yeah, it was a weird. It was odd for my house today because if you went out one side of the house, it was absolutely bloody freezing. But if you went out the other side of the house where there's actually sun for a change, yeah, it was quite warm. It was nice. You still had to put a jacket or something on, but yeah, it was good for a change. We did have a little bit of rain, but again, I expect that where I live. Just automatic reaction. Is it going to rain? Yep. How do you know? It just does. There's more chance of it raining than not. So. Even if it's not actually set to rain in the overall area, it'll still rain where I am. It's strange how that works. All right. On to cutting. Now, I don't want to be so precise with all that stuff and not get it right. So. Try and make as nice and clean a cut as possible. Even if it takes a couple of passes. We can neaten up edges should we need to. Right, yeah, that's it. I'm trying to figure out what the 8-inch line is in that section is just, that's a nightmare. That just confused me. I did not hear about Gene Hackman, his wife, and his dog. This sounds like it's either the start of a joke or probably something that's not great. Or yeah, so it's either going to be incredibly funny or it's not going to be nice. So, nope, I have not. If you would care to enlighten me, I've braced myself for both outcomes. Although, in fairness, I've not heard much about Gene Hackman for quite a while, so. And see, I told you it was either going to be funny or not, and nicely. Suspicious. Well, wait a minute. If he's found dead, his wife's found dead, and the dog's found dead, I'm guessing it's suspicious causes. Or the two of them just had to decide, Ronald, so we're going to blow out like he's 1970, whatever. And they got the dog involved. And obviously, the dog's not meant to be doing stuff like that. Neither are they, because, well, none of them survived it, in fairness. So yeah, is it stupidity through abuse of narcotics and giving it to animals, or is there something else involved? Was he on them Epstein thingies? That'll be an interesting one to know. I didn't get that straight. I've missed a millimetre slightly off that one. Bugger. Oh well, never mind. So, is there things afoot? I thought Americans got MacGyver to sort this shit out. Right. Poor kids and things, because obviously they've lost parents, grandparents, etc. But I didn't know Gene Hackman. I don't think I'll be attending his funeral. Although, how old was he? It's okay, don't worry. How old was he? Because it really could just be a case of, they all just literally. How old? 95. So he was 95. How old was his wife?
67.
And how old was the dog?
I don't know.
So
didn't mention the dog's age.
I'm just throwing out there that there is a possibility that all three of them could have all gone through natural causes on the same night.
I would imagine that it was something like carbon monoxide poisoning.
Possibly.
To kill them all at the same time.
I've got a better theory. She died of natural causes. He walked in and found her, had a heart attack, fell over, landed on the dog and crushed it.
That could have happened.
There you go. No nefarious means. Completely plausible. So yeah, she died naturally. He died of a heart attack finding her, and he landed on the dog and killed it. I wonder if that's what happened. My head works strange sometimes. There you go. Case solved. No need for an autopsy. Now I need a 3x3x3 square, don't I? I do need a 3x3x3 square. Yeah, that's what Sparkles was just saying as well. It's probably carbon monoxide or something along those lines. Yeah, you're probably right. But it's a boring answer. I prefer mine. Domino effects are fun. Yeah. Right, I should be able to get a 3x3x3 out of that. No, I have not seen any trumpet. I don't generally watch. If I see Trump videos, I kind of avoid them, believe it or not. I know you won't think it, but I don't watch Trump videos. Although I wish Elon Musk would shut up on X. I do follow him, but Yeah, do give it a rest a bit. Yeah, we know it's your company. We understand, but no need to become one of the knobheads that were the reason you took over the company in the first place. You can tweet every 30, 40 seconds about every bastard thing. And that isn't he supposed to be in a position of respectable or some kind of authority power within the group? Fucking get on with your work. Can't say that multi-fucking trillionaire, so can you? They get a bit uppity. These days, when it comes to YouTube and things like that, I try to use it for more. I need to turn my mind off for a bit. So something, yeah, doesn't require a lot of concentration, doesn't require me to get angry or worked up. Trying to keep as calm and relaxed as possible. That's what I need to do. I do, and I am aware Pancake Day is coming. Mini lads will not let me forget. He knows exactly what day it is. I can make pancakes from scratch, as can Sparkles. She's what he taught me. Taught me how to do it properly, anyway. But I would like a better pan for this year, because I don't think the pan's gonna survive this year. Oh yes, we all like pancakes. I'm not sure what toppings we're buying in for this year though. We'll have to have a look next time we go shopping. No, they spiked all the prices up to like 47 quid for a fucking thing of lemon that would have cost you 58p from like 2 months ago. Well, sometimes you just gotta deal with this shit. Like that shit. That was annoying. Right. So now we can do the. So that's the second floor. I've got the one block to go on top of that for the other guy who's going to have the other floor behind him. So he's going to be still quite close to the other guy. I might need two. But either way, I do need a 2x2 by 2x2 like that, and then one that way. Butter and sugar. I've never tried putting butter on them. I usually do lemon and sugar. It's my personal preference, but I don't mind maple syrup either. So I need one, two, three 2x1s and two 2x2s. No, it's by 3. It's a 2x3 by 1. About 2x3. Perfect. There's one. That's 2. And then I need while I draw those lines in properly, I need an extra inch on the bottom of that. Because even though it's clean card, the corners aren't always cut right. Chocolate spread is an option. The children have used that before. So let's make sure I'm getting all those lines. And I want a 1 inch. Now I'm going to need 1 inch by 3. And yeah, because these are sideways, aren't they? So I'm going to need an end for there and an end for there, but a topper for along there. So yeah, what I should do is actually get that line right first. And then the rest can all follow suit from there. Why is that not 4 inches? Why is the 2 inch mark there? And that was 4 inches, but that was a slightly bit over. I'm not sure. It shouldn't make too much of a difference. I hope. See, now I can put the 7 inch marker on there. Start at the 6, go straight up. I'm going to try and even it out by putting that line slightly that side. And then last one for this set anyway. Is this bloody line? That's fallen down. This essentially is a Yorkshire pudding mix, Ali. So savoury ones do work. Um, Same as some people think it's weird if you can put like jam and ice cream in a Yorkshire pudding and it works. Because it's essentially you've got pancake mix. So yeah, it works. Oh, crap. Didn't mean to do that, but I did mean to put that line in there so I can now straight line between those two and it should be level. And now I can continue that line. So that they are in fact the same fucking size as the ones above it. All the pieces that they need to connect to. There we go. And then the final piece, which is that edge essentially, which is gonna be the topper piece. Where do I take this? I'll take this out of this end actually, because I don't think I'll get much more use out of this end than that. So, because I've noticed that it doesn't like going around the corners on this, I'm just going down the edges and I'll straighten it out with a ruler like I have done with the others. They are nice right angles and nice things for doing this, but corners are corners still. So they're a pain in the ass. Also, in this case, because I've got to build up all that other layer as well, I don't mind having a few offcuts that are a little bit skinny and a little bit pointy because I've got a few odd little areas to fill in that are going to require angled things and pointy bits. So these shouldn't go to waste. Do it the right-handed way. Don't like doing this. This is the hard way. What's so hard about it? Just holding the pen in general is difficult. There we go. I did it. Where's that 1x1 gone? I saw. Oh, there it is. And there's the 1x1. Right. Some more cutting. They don't need to be here right now, although that can go in that section. I need something they're not going to stick to, so I'm going to use this silicone mat thing and put it over there, and that's what I'm going to put everything on to stand so I can bring other stuff back over so I can still do some glue. But stay over that. You're going to be going over the 1, 2, 3 blocks in a minute as I chop and change things around. Ruler, sharp knife, sparkles nightmare. Sorry. I have questions, but going off the people who are chatting, because I don't know who, there might be other people in there who are not, and might just be able to answer these questions. So I don't know, but I don't think I'm going to get any answers if I ask this question, or if I do, it's only going to be answered from one person. So I don't think I'll ask that. Like, you know. Did I cut my little finger on my right hand? Kind of. There was a bit of hard skin thing that was doing my head in, so I removed it. It's not doing my head in anymore. That's it. That's the only reason why my little finger's got a little bit of blood on it. It's the bit that didn't get washed away properly. Oh, pardon me. But yeah, that bit your finger tends to bleed a lot. Ask a silly question. Okay, what the hell's a bridal fair? And can anyone give me a heads up of what I've let myself in for? And seeing as I do actually have to have a wedding to plan, is it a good idea to go and watch the lookout for? Well, as I said, I only necessarily expect an answer from possibly one person, because I don't think Buzzard's ever been to a bridal fair in his life. And no, that's not an offense to you. It's just I don't think it's something you would have gone to. Ali may have been to. I don't know. Lee, I don't think was allowed in. I think they blocked him at the door. See, it is Liverpool after all. They probably still have security at bridal fairs and things. So, yeah. I mean, if anyone in chat is going, what? A bridal? I can talk about this, but please go ahead, because I've got no idea what I've let myself in for. So any enlightenment will be wonderful. He pretty much says he's going to have everything that we will ever need to do. That's all well and good, but I don't actually know what these things are going to entail. Do I actually need all of them? Are they all necessary? Right. So you've never been to one, but it's he's got to be full of. Why have I got a feeling I'm going to be the only groom there? This is going to suck, isn't it? This is going to be like the. Oh dear God, no! it's not too bad for Sparkles. Sparkles is going down. Our eldest is going to be a bridesmaid. So they can both do that. What are me and Minnie Lad supposed to do? Doesn't even. And I wouldn't mind if it was in the town hall where they've got a Games Workshop. But it's not even like we could bugger off to a Games Workshop for an hour because. Oh, actually, I do know some place we could go to. It is a bit out of the way. I don't say that. I think Sparkles is lovely. Although technically it is a life sentence. You are not wrong on that point. I am signing up for life. Not just a 7-year planner or anything like that. So yeah, you're kind of right with that. The first sign of any cackling, giggling children, and I say the word children, but these people are technically old enough to be planning a wedding. Right, the first sign of that, I'm probably going to walk out. She's not a good sign, really. If I see some stupid bin with a veil, a learner's permit, and a pair of Crocs on, and I'm walking out. I know the town it's in, you see.
What me to do?
But there's also the other end of the spectrum. There may be nothing for a traditional Christian wedding there. So that's the other option that might appear in this town. She's going to be fun. Oh, great. That's great. So we're going to have to see on Sunday. No, I can't just say yes and pay for everything because then I'll need more money than I have and I can feasibly save. Can't say yes to everything. Jesus, you mental, man. Fucking hell. Right, so all of them need a down there, down there, down there, down there, and that needs an all around. Pardon me, I do apologise, I'm sorry. That was quite a loud one as well, that's not nice. Pen, I need a sharp ball pen, I need a pipe up. But this one will suffice. Because I know you can get like 0.3 and 0.4. Oh, sorry, 3 and 4 mil acrylic paint pens. And I've considered them and it's like, if they dry up, how effective are they and how easy is it to get it to break up and start working again? So we'll meet the suppliers of things like cakes, flowers, people who run like car rentals and dressmakers and suit hiring places. That's not too bad. Hopefully we'll get a few local venues as well. Because there's some that we're aware of that we'd rather avoid. And some that are okay but are not quite right. And some that are really nice but cost a fucking fortune. Don't want to dump all our money into just one thing. Other parts to think of as well. It is a one-stop shop to, drain your savings. We have also had the other idea of you just going, right, we're taking the kids on a 2-week holiday, and halfway through the holiday we're going to hopefully bump into 2 English-speaking people that we get on with all right-ish, and they're going to be our signing people, and we're just going to go for a 2-week holiday with the kids, which is another option. Other options. All options pose their own difficulties and problems and issues. So we've got a lot of talking about today, a lot of thinking to do. Hopefully Sunday will shed some light on the situation. If we're lucky, we could get a good deal on something. A 2-week all-inclusive holiday, including the wedding. That'd be fucking brilliant, wouldn't it? Get it all for $3,500. I'll settle for that. That'll be nice. Can I have a cup of tea, please? Thank you. And the sparkles didn't sound like you like the sound of that idea, so I don't think I'll be doing that one.
You mean per person?
Okay, that'll be like, it was £3,500 per person. That's a fucking shitload. I was like, 14. Yeah, like 17,500. Never mind. What we're doing that one. As I said, if we get a good deal, that sounds. I'm asking for a really good deal. So I don't think I'll be getting that. Now to try and be accurate. And they can't go all the way through, remember, because these have got to be the overlapping glue panel things. These have got to be the flappy glue panel things. So go through gently. Try and pay attention to how deep we're going through. Now for the difficult bit, which is essentially trying to cut right down this. And get as close to the paper as you can without actually cutting through the paper or your fingers. Which would be ideal. If not to cut my fingers off, please. I would like that. Oh, remove, come off. See if I can get the big chunk of it off, I can scrape the rest of it off afterwards. Get it on the edge and scrape it off. Now, my plan is to have this well and truly finished before the wedding. So this is, as I said, it take about a year. Longer than that before we get married. So, yeah. hopefully I'll be able to do a lot more clearing away. I've had to do a lot of tidying up around my desk area. I have very few models out at the moment. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 models out. That's including under my desk. Everything else has been put away. Eldar even got their own box now. Well, their own boxes and place to go. And it's all in the room there behind. There were various different boxes from when I collected Conquest, and they give you boxes to store your models in, and various tubs and other things. I still do have my army boxes under my desk, so what I could do is shifting them in there as well. Clear up underneath my desk and try and make all my armies more accessible. Well, I've done this a few times now, Ali, so luckily I know how to be roughly careful enough. And I say roughly careful enough because I'm not denying the fact that it is possible for me to slice through the back of the paper and cut into my finger if I'm not careful. But having done that, I know to be careful. So it does help. I don't know. I'm doing this just off the bottom of the screen, which at least I'm doing it on the screen this time. I've moved my camera into a position where you can actually see the bottom of the screen, even though it's making it shake every time I do that. Aha, I don't need that one for this. I just need to make sure I get the fucking rulers right. How close did it come? Almost close enough. In fact, I did come close enough on that side. There we go. That should do it. And now, try not to cut the back of the bloody thing, the front of your fingers off. Caution for people doing this at home: if you've got anything like gloves, like anti-cut gloves or anything, and you want to use precautionary measures and protective equipment, I'm not going to stop you. Go right ahead and do it. You hear tea, I do hear tea also. Sparkles is currently making me a cup of tea with, I believe she's talking to one of our children. I do hear 2 voices. I do recognize them both. But I have heard things in the past, so. Yeah, voices are always about. I talk to my voices, which gets me very dodgy looks in the kitchen. Or from the kitchen, depending where Sparkles is while I'm talking to myself. She's learnt to ignore it now. Or sometimes she does answer and respond to my questions and what I'm rambling about, just because, well, it actually helps sometimes because she's got the answer to the question that I'm asking. Or the question that I've been asked and I don't know the answer to. Which is an odd one to ask yourself a question and not know the answer to it. Or at least think it's you. I think it's me. Ooh, tea. Thank you. big cup of tea in the animal cup this time, not in the Falcon cup, because the Falcon cup had Horlicks in it last. I need to wash it out properly. Instead of rinse out what it needs the residue sorting. Just to make sure, because it remains, especially because I have a seasoned cup. It something like that definitely soaks in, so I have to give my cup a thorough clean. It means I've got to re-season it again. Pain in the bloody ass. And it takes at least 7 or 8 brews to season a cup. At least 7 or 8 brews. Unless you want to do it the quick way, and I don't like doing it the quick way because it wastes tea. You've got to essentially just leave the tea to go cold. No, I don't like doing that. I mean, I've left tea to go cold and I'll still drink it, but that's because it took too long to drink them. Anyway, back to the talking to yourself. I think that's why I can do this to the degree that I can. Because although I'm talking to all of you that are watching, let's say all of you, Buzzard, Lee, Ali, and anyone who is yet unnamed, chatting for some reason. But yeah, because I can talk to myself, so it doesn't feel like bad. Just sat here talking. It's almost like a release for the madness for a few minutes. But you're allowed to be crazy and talk to yourself and blame it on the camera. It's awesome. So maybe that's why it's working. I don't know. I can use the camera as an excuse to let out the crazy. Or at least let part of the crazy out so it doesn't go really crazy. Who knows? You'd have to be a psychologist to figure it out. I'm not a psychologist. I'm a psych something, but it's certainly an ecologist. Whew. Two more sides to do, and then that's the front block done. Then I can start on the big back block. Because I think the little block's going to be okay without the 1, 2, 3 blocks, but I think the other block might need the 1, 2, 3 blocks just to, because of the size. You might need that little bit of help. Whereas this one being quite narrow, I think it's going to hold quite well. So as I'm going through this, Sparkles may ask for your help. And I hope you don't mind if Sparkles asks for your help. It'll probably happen through Discord. But no, she's obviously... see, that's what you got to be careful of. She's obviously chosen the 2 main characters as Sparkles and Oak. She also chosen classes, and we've started so we can do stat sheets for them. So we can run these in Dungeons and Dragons, and who knows, I may even run a lazy mini painting Discord D&D using these characters. But should Sparkles wish to, because she does have the ability to do polls and things, she may ask you to help name certain characters or have influence on what class they are. I'm going to give that option entirely up to her. But if she's struggling on any help, I'm hoping you will all help and give her a helping hand in those situations if she asks. Because there are a frigging lot of them. There's another 33 to name and stat sheet up. And then I might do some stupid things like, I don't know, custom stat sheets for them all for when I want to use them. Yeah, it might get a bit silly, but 30 odd characters to name and give a Dungeons and Dragons class to. I think everyone will get to level 3. So if you are aware of 5th edition, the original 5th edition, not the revamped 5th edition that they've done very recently, the 2014, I think it is, edition, then yeah, you might have a bit more of a understanding of what's being asked, but a lot of it'll just be multiple choice, I should imagine. Name choices, class choices, subclass choices in some cases. Right, so now I need glue. Still, I know the glue alley bomb is under there somewhere. It's under that lot, under there. See, under this lot. But I'm not. Well, that's the thing. Not knowing might be the better option, because you're not making. There's a term in gaming called metagaming, where you specifically make the best choice so that you can be all powerful within the game. It's not necessarily how role-play games should work. Role-playing characters should have flaws and not be able to do everything. So not knowing some of the options may inadvertently add flaws without realizing it, making them quite fun characters to play, or may inadvertently make them power characters. Do the complete opposite of, it's like, no, this character, because of that choice, it's like, this turned out a bit more overpowered than we realized. There are many, many, many ways to overpower things. There are certain characters that I wish to predetermine the class for because of the role they fill in the village. And flawless can be a name. I don't see why not. I don't see which character it could go to right at this moment in time, but I don't see why flawless couldn't be a name. I would rather it be an ironic name. And Sparkles is nothing as well. She'd rather it be an ironic name. Flawless, the one with the most flaws. Nah, drop the lid. Didn't mean to do that. And to run it along there. And then stick it down. And then have the 2x2 block. Trying on that. Now for the 4x, the big one. So yeah, It's the big one when it stands upright, isn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that's the topper which needs to got you. There are things online called name generators with Sparkles insists on certain things and can't come to it. You can just go to a name generator if necessary. But I like to keep, because I do live streams and obviously there are people who come to watch. I like to keep you involved. If it's all possible, I like you to be involved as well. So, I don't have a Patreon service where I do behind the scenes, one-to-one things or anything like that. So I'll just keep you involved in the decisions in the channel and things where I think you might like to help. Yeah, so if Sparkles has got multiple choices for names, it's like I can't decide which one to do. If I put it up as a thing, let people help decide. Might even be as daft as colour schemes. I know the colours for Sparkles and Up, so I'm going to try and make them the first two actual creatures that I make. Or should I say that I paint. And then go into the water creatures afterwards. But I do know the colour schemes for Sparkles and Up. I could actually read the stats out as well for you. I might read that. I might save that for the night when we're actually painting them though. Although I do have, as I said, I do know the classes for some of them that I would like them to be. Don't necessarily have names for them. Also, I've decided to try something new to make the sign for the village. And that's polymer clay. It's the one that you put in the oven and it goes, you basically make it and you put it in the oven and it goes hard. So I've got just a little bit, not much. I shouldn't need much, I don't think, if I can actually do it right. But I've never sculpted before, so it doesn't mean to say I can do it right. But I've got an idea in my head of what I would like it to be. If I could actually get it to work and I could possibly even scan it, that would be awesome because it'll change the logo to that. But I intend to have a go at that in the future as well. But I at least want to get the ground level ready and some paint so we can actually see where it's going. There is some forward momentum on this build. There will be a lot of painting involved in it as well, so let's try and get just the core work out of the way, then we get all the fun stuff done in the future. I say fun stuff. He's watching paint dry, but he's also watching something come to life at the same time. As the paint goes on, it brings the camera to life. So it somehow manages to cross the borders of interesting and boring at the same time. This is wonderful. Yeah, it doesn't really matter on this because stuff's getting glued to it, doesn't it? So. Go on, pop out. Pop out. Close enough. Side number one. I ended up with. I've actually got 3 airbrushes at the moment. The only problem I can't use them. Well, I can use them, but I'd have to make myself a box, which is easy enough to make, but difficult to store. Because I've got a few fans I could stick for extraction, and I can just have them straight up and out the window there. So I could make myself a little spray booth to use my thingy in here, but I don't know which airbrush bushes they are. I know there's something Steinbach ones are supposed to be pretty good, but most of the AliExpress, Temu, those type of ones, even though they all have different like numbers and model numbers and stuff, it's essentially the same fucking airbrush. One's gravity fed, one's suction fed. So yeah, unless he's gone out and bought some, unless those might be, don't get me wrong, those might be some of the good actual airbrushes out there, because there are some where the mechanisms are just smoother and just designed better. The ones I've got are I say cheap and cheerful, but they still work well. You just got to try and stay on top of the nozzle, so to try and stop the sputtering as much, really. That's it. Are you off to bed? Okay, Ellie. Good night. Thank you for coming to join us. Direct sale. That's not bad. It's not bad at all, then. That's probably why you like one so much. Like the both always like, no, these are actually, no, I'm keeping these. These are good. So damn it, I'm a camo thing mapped out and everything for me drone. Take it apart, service it, and while I had the casing off, spray it. Damn it. Believe it or not, I miss work. I should throw myself into this more, really, and I could turn this into work. But it means doing it a lot, and doing this a lot can sometimes mean expensive. And if it's not expensive, then it means you're doing it on the cheap. So you're saving a lot of stuff. So you're saving, so that it becomes clutter instead of storage is the issue. I've just had an idea, but I'm going to have to speak to Sparkles about it, and it might free up a lot of space. Ooh, 120 for both, and retail would be over. That's nice. That is nice. If that's a nice saving. Um, but 120 quid is what I paid for 2 airbrushes, a compressor, the whole setup essentially. Everything I needed to start, and I shouldn't have to change the compressor, even if I get better. So if I get to the point where it's like, no, I think the airbrush is now holding me back, I can just upgrade the airbrush. I've got the conversion bits for hoses and stuff for different airbrushes. So hopefully, well, I say hopefully, I should be able to just upgrade the airbrush. I need to get the Hoover on my desk badly. The Hoover's not been on my desk for too long. That's all 4 sides for the big one. Now for the lid. I do have a bit of a conundrum. Do I put an extra layer thick on every single one of these for the sole purpose of giving the bases something to absorb into, rather than just having that one layer of paper underneath? Or do I just leave that one layer of paper underneath? I think I'll be better off giving them something extra underneath just to. As I said, mine's the starter friendly box set when I got the airbrush. So if he's gone for a decent branded pair of airbrushes and just got them on cheap sale, then that's nice. I'll say it's unheard of because they do airbrush sales. They might have a new range coming out this year, so just like, let's sell off all these quick. And now everyone wants one that's better. I'm sure Lee's seen a few nice airbrushes on sale while he's been browsing through some sites. I know there's one that usually pops up quite frequently when I go onto Element Games. There's usually an airbrush sale that pops up as a. Did you know we're selling this off as a? No, really? Yeah, some of them like 400 bloody quid. That's on sale? Yeah, I don't think so. That's full retail price. You just said retail price is higher. That's all. It's worth 60 quid. It's worth 60 quid. It's worth 90 quid. It's been reduced to 60. Someone buys it. Yeah, I know how that tactic works. I'm not fucking stupid. I've seen it done many moons ago. Used to be a man I worked with, and if he saw a TV he thought he could get more for, he'd cross out the amount on the barcode and he'd label it up as the amount you got more for. But knowing what it was cheaper on the barcode, if anyone was and ahhing, he'd offer him discount and just sell them at the price that was on the fucking barcode. Proper greasy. He was a proper greasy fucker. Who are you calling a crackhead? I'm not a crackhead. I might look like one with this hat on, but I'm not a crackhead. Last little cuts. Try not to cut through the bloody paper. See, I don't mind having to scrape some off as long as I don't have to cut the top of my fingers off. In fact, I prefer to scrape some off rather than cut my bloody fingers off. Was that sent to the wrong thing, that beacon? Oh, I know who the crackhead is now. I mean, if it's that personal, please, send it in general chat, but you can tell me, please, because I'm curious now. You can call me a crackhead on the screen, then tell me it's not me. So who is it? Do we need to go around? Not that I'm anywhere near you. For me to get to you now will probably take me till at least tomorrow night. That's without using public transport and shit, but I probably could get there tonight, but actually possibly not. It's 11 o'clock. Oh, okay. It's worth 60. I don't see them in the chat. It's the chat messages I'm not seeing. I hope not. If there's chat messages I'm not seeing, I don't like that. No, it appears to be. I'm seeing everything. Look, you just said top chat there for a second. Well, I don't want top chat. I want everything. I want all the chat. I want all the D as well. I get to hide most of my cup behind me as well this time. It is, as I said, it's the animal cup this time. Instead of the Millennium Falcon Haynes manual thing. Do you like them both? You just stand there a minute. Yeah. You squidge into that. You stand there a minute. Now. Fair enough. I forget what I say all the time. Because I talk to myself, I don't listen to myself. Jesus. Imagine listening to me all day. That's why Sparkles deserves a fucking award. She has to listen to me all day. It's cruel and unusual torture, that is. Yeah, she remembers some of the stuff I say as well. I don't know what you include. Did I? Okay. That might be why we're getting married. She's decided that you proposed the other day. You know that, did you? Did I? Oh, okay. I'm just agreeing and going along with it. Not that I have any objections to. I'm just quite happy to get it. Yeah. But, okay. Right, so that's the mountainy section starting to come together as a base building block, which is good. It's taken me an hour and a half. I've still got to do layering for the roots. Oh. Come. Maximum effort, eh? Get rid of all the tack stuff off the desk. Where the glue is spilled over a bit because we don't want that. We don't need them at the minute either. So let's go. No, actually, we can go back there. That's not too bad. What we're doing though is filling this gap up and then up to here with this. Oh, that's an actual nice, decent square of teeth there. Yeah, I do want some overhang on the end, and I can kind of cut it and shape it so it's not going to be too bad. What I want is some nice thickish bits that are going to fill it out well. I know I can fill these little gaps in with all these little pieces, so that's not the problem. That seems like a good start, at least to me. Building up this log section essentially is, well, I say log is a root, but it's going to look like an extra thick log by the time I've finished, hopefully. And I said, I will pretty much take any form of filling at this moment in time to layer that section up, but I do want there to be I might have to leave that now and just level. Yeah, fill that bit up at the back, and hopefully there's still room there for 2 bases. One there. One could go there if I cut it down a couple of levels. And then I can bark up the tree somehow. It's got to be very thin if I'm doing that. So that might be. That might be a use of polyfiller. Just a very thin layer of it and just texture it so hopefully it looks like a bit of a bat. So I'm going to need some more polyfiller. Which is going to be fun. Then yeah, I can cut these layers out and then build the forge on there. Build the shop over here, and then have the mountains over that side. Right. So that should be box number 1, which is going to go right up to there. Oh, flip it around. People want to see. Yes, that is all the shells ready to go along the shoreline. So flip it around this way. So the thin box is to go there. It's partly why I didn't put any bottoms on it, because it was just bloody pointless. I'm just going to glue it straight to it. There we go. Yes. So, and then 4-inch block to go behind it. I'll also put some glue along there so I can glue it to the block in front. It might help stabilize it. And if you can build in blocks, then it helps. Right, so as I move the shells, so they're not all going to go flying everywhere, put that in temporarily. So as a 3D structure now, you can see it's starting to take some shape towards where everything's going to be. I have remembered I've got to put the last thingy on, but I do need to make sure I put it somewhere that isn't going to interfere with the 3 bases that I've got to go. Because there's 2 bases that I've got to go on there. And there's 3 bases that need to go on here. With enough clearance. And that base switch will have to go on there. So that gives me all the mounting. 2 to turn it around again. So we've already got 1, 2, 3 in the water, 1, 2, 3 on the ground level at the bottom of the mountain, 2 at the gate at the end of the pier, which is going to be Sparkles on Oak. The pier is going to be there. Shells are going to be along this shore edge. We need to make room for 2 people here, and then there's several people to come along here, and another level to be raised up the same height where this is going to be. So still a long way to go to get the base structure in place. How I'm going to suspend this one and then this one even 2 inches higher. So obviously this one sits at 4 inches, so this one's going to be sitting at 6. I'm not quite sure. That's 2 and a bit. So it's going to be 4 and a bit, and then 6 and a bit. So that's going to be fun. Do I have enough rocks to do what I want to do? I hope I do. I will have to use some of the Astro Granite from the Warhammer range, which is one of the basing things to base these 5 upper bases with, so they look rocky, because I won't be able to put the big rocks on with them, but I will be able to surround. That may end up getting glued further back depending where it needs to go to make room for things, because some of the models are a little bit bigger than the bases, some of them are a lot smaller, so it will depend on the size of the model. But yeah, I need to glue that one down. It may get an additional topper just so I can make the indentation into something else and then still have the card and still a layer of foam underneath. But let's glue that one down and move all these back because they're not ready to be cut in yet. And what I will leave at least a card width gap down both the side and the back. That way, should I decide to put a backing on it or a side on it, I'll have that option. But it's still far enough back into the corner for it to not interfere with the other bases that are going to go around in this area. So it's got a very, very minor gap around the outside. This is slowly coming together. And I'm quite happy with that so far. The forge is going to take a little more work. I'm going to have to do some cutting out of the card, of the foam, to try and give it the texture that I want on the thing, and then work on the forge level, which is going to be around here, I think. I may end up putting extra stuff like this coming out of some levels, but only a small amount to give him enough to stand on. So yeah, I'm running very short on space. I knew it was going to be very cluttered anyway. I knew it was going to be cluttered and clustered, but I wasn't sure it was going to be this cluttered and clustered. So yeah, definitely running short on space. There's a lot to fit in, but I think I can do it. I know I can do it. I know there's enough room, especially with this section up here and all this. Since it's been residential, most of them will be going on this section, but there'll be a good chunk down there as well, just so it's not completely cluttered up here. So more ideas to have. I'm going to have to rebuild the side view so I know where people are going on levels, and that's going to be fun. That's going to be so fun. I still know I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About another 6 just to fit on this section, not including the one on here and the 2 on here. So it is going to get very cluttered on that bottom floor very quickly. I may end up splitting floors a lot more. Yeah, I think I will end up splitting floors a lot more. But I'll find a way around it. I'll find something I can do. If I can pin someone possibly off a branch somewhere, I'll figure something out. But for tonight, I'm going to leave it at that because a lot of things are drying at the minute. I don't want to disturb them, especially that big piece and this piece, because I need them to be in place. So I'm going to leave them nicely and leave that length dry, as well as the start of the mountain, which is nice. The rock should look okay. I mean, that's only a very small piece of the rock, but I have lots of pieces like that from my old school projects from my daughter, so they're going to come in very handy, covering up a lot of these side faces and these front faces and in between these areas here. Just as the grass tufts are going to be nice for filling in some spaces in some of the areas around. So lots and lots of work to do. bulking out and sculpting. Bulking out and sculpting is I don't like. I figured that much out. I'm going to find another way of doing that, I think. But I've still got to sculpt that into the right position and then level out the base for it. Yeah, this is going to be fun. Thank you all for joining me tonight, and thank you, Buzzard, for staying with me till the end, as well as Lee, if you're still here. Models and musing should be fine for Monday next week. I'm feeling a lot better, as you can see. I'm all right now. Well, not all right. I'm still a little bit coffee, but I should be done by Monday. So models and musings will continue then, and I'm looking at basing from Lazarus and his back shield, and then next Thursday I'm going to try and pluck up the courage to try and do some carving in here. And I don't know if I'm going to fuck it up or not. I might do. I might not. We'll find out. I don't know. We'll find that out. Is if we actually do it. So, yeah, I might do some off-screen, just more stacking of foam. So I've got more to. If I've got more to take away from, I've got more to make the thing that I want. So yeah, it might just be lots and lots of stacking of foam for me over the course of the next couple of days, just to make sure I've got enough to be able to cut out the shape that I need. Until then, I shall see you on Monday. Thank you all for joining me, and as always, drive safe. Don't be an idiot on the road. Just drive safe, and I'll see you next time.